Hey guys, it's Angelo with We Want Picks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the new Monkey Knife Fight scoring system. If you don't know what Monkey Knife Fight is, they are daily fantasy prop games, and they allow you to make picks and plays off of things like the total number of strikes in a fight, as well as the fantasy points in a strike. They have changed two things. One, it is no longer only significant strikes that count towards the line. It is every single strike. That means the little pitter-patter strikes against the cage, the little strikes off of bottom, they all count towards the total. And the second thing they changed was their fantasy scoring system. So they had a fantasy scoring system which gave points for takedowns and strikes and things like that. They've gotten rid of that, and they've changed the system to the exact same one that FanDuel uses. So if you've done FanDuel, you should be familiar with the scoring system, but I will walk you through it step by step. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to playmkf.com/WeWantPicks. If you don't have an account, sign up, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you're new to this and you don't know what to do and you're a little weary about playing, deposit $20. They will give you a free $20. Use the free money. Play with the free money. And then when you get comfortable, you can go from there. So we come onto the site. I've logged in. I've made my deposit. I want to click the fist. You can do any sport. They have all these props for all the sports, but I'm an MMA guy. So I click on the little fist, and these are the UFC lines. This is every single fight. I'm filming this before UFC 263. The experience is going to be exactly the same no matter what. So let's go ahead and grab one of these fights. I'm going to grab Brad Riddell versus Drew Dober. These are two strikers. They're going to be standing the entire time and throw 200 million punches in this fight. So when you come into any fight, up top, you will have two different options. You will have more or less, and then you will have more or less fantasy points. So the first one is total strikes. So if you look here, here's our strike lines. This is saying Drew Dober will land 92.5 total strikes in this fight. And Brad Riddell will land 65.5 total strikes in this fight. Well, it's only a 3-round fight, so 92.5 is a lot. But I do think these guys will be crazy busy, and they will be banging the entire time. So I'm actually going to play more and more on both of these. Potentially, Drew Dober could get a stoppage. So if you were worried about that, you would do less on Drew Dober. I just think both of these guys are so tough. It's going to go the distance. They're both going to get their shots off. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play $10. If you look here, it says buy in 10, prize 30. I play 10, I win 30. I triple my money. Why that's important is because I play a bunch of these. I play almost every single fight, every single week, and I lose some. But it doesn't matter because on the ones that I win, I triple my money. It more than covers any ones that I've lost. So to lock this in, I'm going to click submit, and I now have that fantasy prop locked in, and I'm playing it. So that's one thing that they changed. They went from significant strikes to total strikes. Now let's look at the fantasy scoring. We are going to go to the main event. We have Marvin Vettori versus Israel Adesanya. This is UFC 263. We have a striker versus a grappler. So up top, I'm going to click fantasy points. And now you see the line is 98.5 fantasy points for Israel Adesanya and 75.5 fantasy points for Marvin Vettori. If I click the little I, this will walk you through the fantasy scoring. So the points, the total points are based off of this. So let me walk you through it right now. We have significant strikes are 0.6 points per significant strike. So that's not total strikes. Those are only the powerful ones. A knockdown is worth 12 points. A takedown is worth 6 points. A takedown defended is worth 3 points. A submission attempt is worth 5. And then the round win. So if Israel Adesanya wins in the first round, that's 100 points. If he wins in the second, 75. And that goes all the way down to the 5th round. A decision win is 20 points. So with this in mind, let's take a look at the fantasy points. So it is a 5-round fight, so I need to account for the 2 extra rounds. If I'm looking at Marvin Vettori's, we'll start there first. I'm going to do more because I think Marvin Vettori is going to get a ton of takedowns and he's going to attempt a ton of submissions. And those were high-value plays in the scoring system. Israel Adesanya is a little trickier. He's going to attempt 0 takedowns. He is going to defend a few. That's a couple of points per defense. Significant strikes are 0.6 points. That's almost 1 point per significant strike. I'm going to play the more here. I think the fight goes the distance. I think Izzy will defend some takedowns. That'll score some points. I don't think he'll get a knockdown, which is 12 points. That would score high. But I think his volume on his feet, defending some of the takedowns, I think that's worth it. So I'm going to play the more and more. I think it goes 5 rounds. I think it's a competitive fight. And what's interesting here is if this goes the exact same way as the last fight, I'll definitely hit the more and more. Right? It went the distance. Marvin did what he was supposed to do. Izzy did what he was supposed to do and then got the decision point. So I'm going to throw $10 at this. And again, I play 10. I win 30. I will lock that in. And that is now played. So if you have any questions, comment down below. It's all very straightforward. It is a ton of fun. And very quickly, the reason you want to play Monkey Knife Fights is because you triple your money. I cannot be more clear about that. Every single win is triple your initial play. So there is room for error. Not that you're going to lose because you're watching our picks, but if you do, it doesn't matter. You can lose 1, win 2, and you'll make a ton of money. You can lose 3, win 3, and you're still up money. So go to playmkf.com/wewantpicks, deposit with promo code WWP, start playing, start making your money, and watch our breakdowns that walks you through every single one of our picks or plays for every single fight, every single weekend. Comment down below if you have any questions, and we will see you every single Saturday.